Good morning to all. Welcome to Digital Learning, Department of Collegiate Education. Myself, P. Ranganayakulu, working as an Assistant Professor of Commerce at Government First Aid College for Women, Tumkur. The provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. So today, with the help of this video, we can understand the provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. So here, this is the Foreign Exchange Management Act is one of the unit under the subject of business law, and the subject of business law is one of the subject for the 6th semester BCom ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಅದರ ನಿರ್ಬಂಧಗಳು ಏನಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫೆಮಾ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ Management Act provides free transaction on current account subject to the guidelines by the RBI. Enforcement of Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FEMA, is entrusted to a separate directorate which undertakes the investigations on contraventions of the Act. Provisions of FEMA are grouped under 4 heads. The important provisions under each of the 4 heads having a bearing on promoting economic development through foreign investment, which enable the provisions to ensure the curtailing of inflationary trends from such transactions are outlined. So here regarding the introduction of the FEMA is the provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act provides free transactions on current account subject to the guidelines by the RBI. As per the guidelines of the RBI regarding the current account transactions is concerned, they are free transactions, and the enforcement of Foreign Exchange Management Act is entrusted to a separate directorate which undertakes the investigations on contraventions of the Act. So here there is one separate department called the ED Department, Enforcement Directorate Department. It is entrusted by the central government to a separate directorate, that is the Director of Enforcement or the Enforcement Directorate Office, and consists of the director which undertakes the investigations on contraventions of the Act. So that is, if anybody is violated the norms, violated the provisions of the FEMA, he will be punished according to the law relating to the FEMA Act. So therefore, there is a separate department called the Enforcement Directorate Department which looks after the contraventions, so between the persons and those who will deal with the foreign exchanges. So therefore here the current account, that is we can freely operate the current account as per the RBI guidelines. The provisions of FEMA are grouped under 4 heads. Important provisions under each of 4 heads having a bearing on promoting economic development through foreign investment. So here basically all the provisions of the FEMA are grouped into 4 heads. The important provisions under each of the 4 heads having a bearing on promoting economic development through foreign investment. The basic intention of the FEMA is the development of the Indian economy, that is economic development of the country. It is possible through the foreign investment. which enables provisions to ensure the curtailing of inflationary trends from such transactions are outlined here. So curtailing means reducing, that is it is possible to control the inflationary trends. So therefore curtailing means reducing the inflationary trends from such transactions. So therefore with the help of all these provisions, and the provisions will be helped for the development of the Indian economy with the help of the foreign investment, and also the provisions will be helpful for the curtailing of the inflationary trends from such transactions. That transactions here includes the current account transactions and also the capital account transactions as per section 5 of the FEMA. Section 5 of the FEMA deals with the current account transactions, and whereas section 6 of the FEMA deals with the capital account transactions. In the last previous video ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೆಮಾ. So here all the provisions of the FEMA are grouped into 4 heads, and which includes the number 1 is regulation for current account transactions, and whereas number 2 is for regulations relating to the capital account transactions, and whereas number 3 is regulations relating to the export of goods and services, and lastly the 4th regulation is which includes other regulations. So these are the 4 provisions or the regulations of the FEMA. Out of 4, let us see the first that is regulation relating to the current account transactions. What the current account transactions? What are the regulations or the provisions relating to the current account transactions? So here the current account transactions is related to the current account transactions. The provision which includes any person can sell or draw foreign exchange to or from an authorized dealer if such sale or withdrawal is a current account transaction, except for certain prohibited transactions like remittance of lottery winnings, remittance of interest income on funds held in non-resident special rupee account scheme, etc. So here any person can sell or draw foreign exchange to or from an authorized dealer. So therefore here the role of an authorized dealer is very, very important. Directly you can't do any foreign exchange transactions. We can carry the foreign exchange transactions only with the help of the authorized dealers, and in India almost all commercial banks are the authorized dealers, and through the authorized dealers only we can sell or draw foreign exchange. So therefore we can draw or we can sell the foreign exchanges only with the help of the authorized dealer, and if such a sale or withdrawal is a current account transaction provided, and the sale or withdrawal of the foreign exchange must be relating to the current account transaction only. If it is a current account transaction, then only it is possible to sell or withdraw the foreign exchange from the authorized dealers. So the transactions are classified into 2 only, that is current account transactions and the capital account transactions. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವೇನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ನಾವು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಥವಾ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಡೀಲರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ certain prohibited transactions. So here all the transactions are not applicable for the sale and draw. There are some prohibited transactions. That prohibited transactions are like remittance of lottery winnings. Suppose if you want to remit any lottery that is income from winnings, so that it cannot be remitted, and also remittance of interest income on funds held in non-resident special rupee account scheme. Suppose if there is an amount in the non-resident special rupee account scheme and they are prohibited, and this provision is not applicable for these two what you call it as transactions, and that these two transactions are prohibited by the RBI. So that the prohibited transactions includes here if there is any lottery income from if there is any winnings from lottery income, or if there is any interest income on the funds held in non-resident special rupee account scheme, and here this provision is not applicable for the sale or withdrawal of the foreign exchange, and this is the provision relating to the current account transactions. Next, besides these cases, there are certain other transactions for which specific RBI approval will be required. In addition to all these, so here there are some other transactions. In order to operate that transactions, the RBI approval is required. So here, for instance, Reserve Bank approval is required for importers availing of suppliers' credit beyond 180 days and buyer's credit irrespective of the period of credit. Here it is specifically given, and the RBI approval is required, and where if there is any importing of goods from the other countries, and if the supplier's credit is more than 180 days and the buyer's credit irrespective of the period of credit. Here the buyer's credit is not considered here, and if the supplier's credit is more than 180 days, at the time we have to take the approval from the RBI only. If we want to import from the other countries, and here we are required in need of the approval of the RBI regarding for the credit period is concerned. So these are the particular provisions relating to the capital account transactions by the FEMA. And authorized dealers are permitted remittances of surplus, freight, passage, collections by shipping, airline companies or their agents, multimodal transport operators, etc., after a verification of documentary evidence in support of the remittance. So here authorized dealers. So the authorized dealers are the dealers, they are appointed by the RBI to the consultation of the central government. If we want to carry the foreign exchange transactions, maybe a capital account transactions or the current account transactions, we have to deal only with the authorized dealers. So they are called as the authorized dealers. They are permitted and are permitted remittance of surplus. If there is any surplus of foreign exchange that can be that can be remitted to the accounts, if there is a surplus of freight, passage, collections by shipping, airlines companies or their agents, multimodal transport operations, etc., after verification of the documentary evidence in support of the remittance. So therefore at the time of remittance of the surplus amount, surplus foreign exchange, at that time by verification of the documentary evidence, if they are satisfied about the documentary evidence with the party, automatically that amount will be remitted. These are the provisions relating to the current account transactions with related to the FEMA Act. Next, let us see what are the provisions relating to the capital account transactions. So here the provisions relating to the capital account transactions can be understood under this heading with the 4 heads. Number 1 is foreign nationals are not allowed to invest in any company or partnership firm or proprietary concern which is engaged in the business of chit fund or in agricultural or plantations activities or in real estate business other than the development of township, construction of residential or commercial premises, roads or bridges, or construction of farmhouses or trading in transferable development rights, TDRs. Listing of permissible classes of capital account transaction for a person resident in India and also by a person resident outside India has been provided in the regulation. So this is the first that is called as capital account transaction, the provisions relating to the capital account transaction. It is the first provision under the capital account for the capital account transactions. Number one is the foreign nationals. So if they are the foreign nationals, they are not allowed to invest in any company. ಅವರು ಫಾರಿನ್ ನೇಷನಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿನಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಪ್ರೈಟರಿಶಿಪ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಸೋಲ್ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಆಗಲಿ, that is not possible to invest their funds provided if they want to do the business of chit fund or in agriculture or plantation activities or in real estate business. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ನು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೌನ್ಶಿಪ್, that is infrastructure development of the country, that is called as development of the township, construction of residential or the commercial premises, roads or bridges, provided as per this provision relating to the capital account transactions. As per the provisions of the FEMA, the foreign nationals can be invested only in the development of the infrastructure projects in India, but other than that they are not to be invested in all these business activities relating to the chit fund or the relating to the business of chit fund or agriculture or plantation activities or in real estate business or construction of farmhouses, and also they can invest in the construction of farmhouses or trading in transferable development rights. Listing of permissible classes or construction of farmhouses or trading in transferable development rights. Listing of permissible classes of capital account transactions for a person resident in India and also by a person resident outside India has been provided in the regulation. There is a list, and the list consists of what are the permissible classes of capital account transactions and what is the permission given by the RBI that is being mentioned in the list for a person resident in India and also by a person resident outside India has been provided in the regulation. In this regulation, and they have been given the list of permissible classes of capital account transactions. Next, regarding the second regulation regarding the capital account transactions is called as detailed rules and regulations are provided on borrowing and lending in foreign currency as well as Indian rupee by a person resident in India form or to a person resident outside India, either on non-repatriation or repatriation basis. So this is the second provision, that according to this provision detailed rules and regulations are provided. So here there are the detailed rules and regulations. There are some principles and as well as the regulations are provided on borrowing and lending in foreign currency. So suppose if you wants to borrow the foreign currency or if you wants to lend a foreign currency, relating to the borrowing and lending for the foreign currency, and also not only for the foreign currency, even for the Indian rupee also, then the detailed rules and regulations which are mentioned in the what you call it as the capital account transactions under the second heading, and they are to be followed by both the resident in India and also the non-resident in India, that is called as a person outside, a person resident outside India, maybe a resident in India or maybe a resident of the other countries. They have to follow the detailed rules and regulations relating to the borrowing and the lending of the foreign currency. So either for the repatriation or non-repatriation base, either to bring back, ನಾವು ಏನು ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ವಾಪಸ್ಸಾದರೂ ತರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ವಾಪಸ್ ತರೋದನ್ನು ರಿಪಾಟ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ತರದೇ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ನಾನ್ ರಿಪಾಟ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ either it can be bring back or may not bring back, that is called as ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ತರೋ ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನು ಅಮೌಂಟು ನಾವು ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ತರೋ ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು that is called the repatriation ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So therefore maybe bring back or may not bring back the investments in the other countries. So therefore, the borrowing and lending, regarding the borrowing and lending, the transactions of borrowing and lending, and how to borrow the foreign currency, foreign exchange, and also foreign currency, and how to lend the foreign currency. So rules and regulations are being mentioned, and they are the provisions relating to the capital account transactions which are mentioned in the FEMA Act. Next, let us see that third regulation relating to the capital account transactions. Authorized dealers are now permitted to grant rupee loans to NRIs against security of shares or immovable property in India, subject to certain terms and conditions. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ authorized dealersಗೆ RBI had given the permission to grant the rupee loans ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ for the NRIsಗೆ loans ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ authorized dealersಗೆ, that is RBI had given the permission, and against the security of the shares immovable property in India, subject to certain terms and conditions. But the authorized dealers have to observe the terms and conditions which are prescribed by the FEMA, and the authorized dealers has to follow the terms and conditions of the FEMA. By following those terms and conditions which are being mentioned, then only they can sanction the rupee loans to the NRIs, and provided the security is very important here, and what type of security, on what basis, and on what security that amount of loans are to be given against the security of shares or immovable property in India. So authorized dealers are housing finance institutions approved by National Housing Bank can also grant rupee loans to the NRIs for acquisition of residential accommodations, subject to certain terms and conditions. Here, the authorized dealers are housing finance institutions approved by, and here not only the authorized dealers, even the housing finance institutions, all the housing finance institutions, and the provided the approval of the National Housing Bank is required for the housing finance institutions, and if it is approved by the National Housing Bank, then only the housing finance institutions and also the authorized dealers can also grant the rupee loans to the NRIs for acquisition of residential accommodations, subject to certain terms and conditions. So therefore, to the NRIs, the rupee loans can be sanctioned by the authorized dealers and also the housing finance institutions, and for the purpose of the acquisition of, that is for the purpose of purchase of either for the residential accommodations or for the acquisition of residential accommodations only, subject to certain terms and conditions. Here, based on certain terms and conditions, and they can grant the amount of loans for the purchase of the residential accommodations. So this is the third provision related to the capital account transaction. And fourth, that is a provision for the capital account transaction, is the general permission has been granted to Indian company, including non-banking finance company registered with the Reserve Bank, to accept a deposit from NRIs on repatriation basis, subject to the terms and conditions specified in the schedule. So this is the general permission given by the RBI relating to the, so therefore there is that they can accept the deposits from the NRI on repatriation basis. So the deposits of the NRI can be accepted by the other banks with the permission of the RBI, because the RBI had given the permission for the acceptance of the deposits of the NRIs on repatriation basis, subject to the terms and conditions specified in the schedule, and provided repatriation basis, and they can take back their amount to their home countries after some time. So therefore, this is the general permission relating to the capital account transactions. So these are the four provisions relating to the capital account transactions. And the Indian proprietorship concern, firm or a company registered with the Reserve Bank can also accept deposits, that is from NRIs on non-repatriation basis, subject to the terms and conditions specified in the schedule. Indian proprietorship concern or the Indian partnership firms or a company can also accept the deposits but provided they are all registered with the Reserve Bank, that is can also accept the deposits from NRIs on non-repatriation basis subject to the terms and conditions specified in the schedule. So therefore here there are some that is sole trading concerns and also the partnership firms, and also there are some companies which are registered according to the provisions of the Reserve Bank can also accept the deposits from the NRIs on non-repatriation basis, and provided they have to fulfill certain conditions at the time of acceptance of the deposits from the NRIs by the Indian partnership proprietorships and also partnership and also the company. And here let us see what are the provisions relating to the export of goods and services. So export proceeds are required to be realized within a period of 6 months from the date of shipment. In the case of exports to a warehouse established abroad with the approval of Reserve Bank, the proceeds have to be realized within 15 months from the date of shipment. So an enabling provision has been made in this regulation to delegate powers to the authorized dealers to allow extension of time. Export of goods on elongated credit terms beyond 6 months requires prior approval of the RBI. So here let us see the third regulation that is called as regulations relating to the export of goods and services. Suppose if you want to export the goods and services to the other countries, and here the export proceeds are required to be realized within the period of 6 months from the date of shipment. Now ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು goods na shipment ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ that is to be converted into money. Proceeds are, that is exports proceeds are required to be realized, that goods are to be converted into money within the period of 6 months from the date of shipment. And in the case of exports to a warehouse established abroad with the approval of Reserve Bank, suppose if you want to store the export proceeds in the other countries in the warehouse, at the time that proceeds have to be released within 15 months from the date of shipment. ನಮ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಶಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿತಿನ್ 15 ಡೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು money, that is proceeds have to be realized to be sold within 15 months. So next an enabling provision has been made in this regulation to delegate powers to authorized dealers to allow extension of time. So therefore here one of the provision is made by the RBI to delegate the powers to the authorized dealers to allow extension of time, and provided if the time is required some unavoidable circumstances and for the authorized dealers, the RBI had given the permission for the extension of the time. Export of goods on a elongated credit terms beyond 6 months requires prior approval of the reserve. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೊಲಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಎಲಾಂಗ್ನೇಟೆಡ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡ್ಯೂರೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ to be realized at that time we have to take the permission from the RBI. So these are the provisions relating to the export of goods. Next, the last regulation, that is a provision relating to the FEMA. A person resident in India to whom any foreign exchange is due or has accrued is obligated to take reasonable steps to realize and repatriate to India such foreign exchange unless an exemption has been provided in the Act or regulations made under the general or special permission of Reserve Bank. So any foreign exchange due or accrued as remuneration for services rendered or in settlement of any lawful obligation or an income on assets held outside India or as inheritance, settlement or gift to a person resident in India should be sold to an authorized person within a period of 7 days of its receipt, and in all other cases within 90 days of its receipt. So here the first one regarding the other regulation is concerned, a person resident in India to whom any foreign exchange is due or has accrued is obligated to take reasonable steps to realize and repatriate to India such foreign exchange unless an exemption has been provided in that or regulations made under the general or special permission of Reserve Bank. So therefore, with the permission of the Reserve Bank, if the any amount of foreign exchange is due to the resident of India, therefore, and they can take some reasonable step and they can get the amount from the other countries, that is called the foreign exchange. Such foreign exchange, unless an exemption has been provided in the act or regulations made under the general, suppose unless and until without any rules and regulations and without any some exemptions, and their amount can take back in the form of foreign exchange from the other countries. Next, any foreign exchange due or accrued as remuneration for services. Suppose if they are rendered their services in the other countries, if any foreign exchange is due and they are residing in the particular countries and rendered or in settlement of any lawful obligation or in income on assets held outside India. Suppose the assets are held by the NR, that is of residents in India, and their assets are held in the other countries. If there is any other income on the assets which are held outside India or as an inheritance, settlement or gift to a person resident in India should be sold to an authorized person within a period of 7 days of its receipt, and in all other cases within 90 days of its receipt. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವೇನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನಾದರೂ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮತ್ತು ಏನಾದರೂ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸಿಂದ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ತರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಆಥರೈಸ್ ಡೀಲರ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ತರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ವಿತಿನ್ 7 ಡೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬೈ ದಿ that is called as with the help of the authorized person they can get back. But whereas in other cases there is a time limit for 90 days of their for the receipt of the foreign exchange. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 7 days ಇದೆ, but in the remaining circumstances there is a 90 days time for the receipt of the foreign exchange. So therefore any foreign exchange due or accrued as remuneration for services rendered or in settlement of any lawful obligation or as an income on assets held outside India or as an inheritance, settlement or gift to a person resident in India should be sold to an authorized person within a period of 7 days of its receipt, and in all other cases within 90 days of its receipt. So this is about the general provisions or the other regulations of the Foreign Exchange Management Act. So these are the 4 provisions are relating to the FEMA. Number 1 is the provision relating to the capital account transactions, the provision relating to the current account transaction, provisions relating to the export of goods, and also the other provisions or other regulations. These are the 4 regulations or the provisions of the FEMA. Thank you for listening this video.